Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a bit of a rebuild of my OneWheel because I discovered a couple of things and I thought I'd document it in like a short quick video. And so today I was basically going to install this Cush High rear foot pad because I wanted something a bit more grippy and a bit more concave for off-road riding now that I have the off-road tire. However, once I took everything apart, I found some pretty extensive damage in the bumpers that I knew the bumpers were damaged, but I didn't realize they were this damaged. So here are the old parts I'm going to be retiring. Of course, it's the rear foot pad that we're switching out with the Cush High from Carvin. This one's still in pretty good condition after about 900 miles. I mean, the clear coating I put on it kept any debris and gunk from really rotting the wood or making it soften or splinter. But back here towards the fender edge, you can see it's just really grimy, dirty, and has got some chunks missing out of it. Also, the grip tape kind of has lost its grip a little bit, so it's not great. Oh, and here's a piece of grip tape that I ripped off my front foot pad. We'll get to that later. The bumpers I need to retire because these things are just screwed. I couldn't take this bit off because this threading and bit had just completely broken out. Even after super gluing, it's gone. All of these screw mount areas, they've just got massive cracks coming off of it, and this one's got a crack coming straight to the front. The DIY skid plate mod has worked amazingly well, but I think it's just time to retire these bumpers because structurally they're not sound anymore, and I just don't feel like it's safe for me or the OneWheel to remount these. Because these are just absolutely destroyed because they're both warped and they're just missing certain mounting pieces. Like this is broken off from here, and all these mounting pieces and stuff have broken, and I don't feel safe with these anymore because they just don't seem like they'll properly distribute any impact, or really they don't seem like they're that structurally sound anymore. The fender I think is still fine. The fender I could definitely reuse. The fender is probably one of the more durable parts of the OneWheel that you probably won't have to swap out. Here I got all my stickers on it. I kind of hate to swap this out just because it has all the cool stickers on it. Problem is though, float plates that I ordered that are supposed to be yellow are not the same yellow. I would consider this more of an orange than a yellow, so I sent a message to the support asking if this is actually the yellow color or not, but I think this might be the yellow, but it doesn't really match with the OneWheel yellow at all. So what I'm going to do is I just said, you know what, screw it. I was holding on to these extra components that I got when I bought the OneWheel used for as long as I can, because I just wanted to save them because they were brand new, so I could keep them from getting worn down while just wearing those already broken ones down instead while I was learning. But I'm pretty confident in my one-wheeling ability. I want my one-wheeling to be safe because I want parts that aren't going to break on me or aren't already broken that may cause even more damage or reliability issues in the future. So what I'm going to do is mount my new gray fender. Over here I have my new gray bumpers. Oh, these are kind of blue-gray, yeah, that'll be interesting. And then here we have the float plates, and then we of course have the new Cush High foot pad, which started this all. And then here we have the front foot pad. Now, as you can see, the front foot pad has the Craft and Ride grip tape on it instead of the default grip tape. The default one was already getting pretty worn down, but while taking it off, I noticed that my front foot pad on the right had a little bit of damage, just because the plastic bits were separating a little bit and trying to peel that grip tape off, even with the use of some heat and stuff. It just kind of worsened it a little bit where it opened it up further where the side was already starting to come out. So I did my best to reseal the foot pad, and I think it was pretty solidly sealed, both the crack that had formed and the side that has started to loosen a little bit. And then I tested those out. Those were really properly sealed again, and then I of course plugged it into the OneWheel, tested it out, made sure it properly sensed pressure and the on and off. And I think after some testing for a couple of minutes, everything seems to work well. It does still recognize on off pretty easily. That's because the sensors in here are actually very nicely and reliably built, even though I don't really like the way they're mounted. But this is still functional despite that very questionable cosmetic damage. But yeah, so I guess we know what needs to be done, so let's just put this thing together and hope it doesn't look like the worst abomination, because I really did like that yellow and blue color scheme, but I think it's time for that to go, because those things, I can't mount those bumpers again. They're actually destroyed. And just having one yellow bit here and then having the weird orange float plates and the darker blue bumpers, I don't like that color scheme. So we're just going to go for all the new components here, and it will be an entirely new OneWheel once this video is done. So the front bumper and front foot plate assembly is all put together now, and honestly, I gotta say, like, I was hesitant to whip out the new float plates and new bumpers because I just wanted to ride the old ones as long as possible, but this was definitely the best choice. The installation, once I kind of figured out exactly which screws to put where, because I used the longer ones here because they couldn't quite reach the thread with the shorter ones. Honestly, the color scheme doesn't work that bad. The installation went absolutely smoothly. All the parts, you can tell, they're like, they fit how they should fit. They don't have any broken bits. It's not like trying to jerry-rig anything together. Like, this is actually fitting together and working as it should. Also, I like the color scheme that's coming together here. I'm probably going to pop on the gray fender instead of the yellow one. Although I do lose some stickers that I have on that one. I think that's going to be a cooler color scheme. Because, like, we have the dark blue and the orange. That works pretty cool. The orange also works nice with the side plate. With the gray fender, I think this will kind of come together with kind of a weird color scheme. Not as cool, maybe, perhaps. Not as clean as the just the straight blue and yellow. But I think this will be a good look. It'll be interesting for sure. So I'm going to work on putting the second half together, the back part, and then once that's together and I slap the fender on it and put the stickers on the fender, then this thing will be good to cruise again. Now, probably won't change the riding characteristics as much as like the off-road tire did, but the foot pad is definitely going to make the ride a little bit more secure, so will the grip tape, and then with the new hardware I can feel a bit more confident in the cruising, that nothing's going to break on me and everything's as it should be. Alrighty, so here is the completed OneWheel. So basically, we have the new grip tape on the front foot pad, we have the new bumpers installed, we have the float plates installed, and so basically this thing should be ready to cruise. We also got that new Cush High rear foot pad. And what's interesting about this one is it actually has screw holes here where the normal foot plates don't, and that actually screws into the top of the rear bumper in place of another shorter, smaller screw, which is very interesting. But I decided to stick with the yellow fender just because I wanted to keep the one with all the cool stickers on it, like the GoPro, the Bend, the Float Life sticker. But I have an extra Float Life sticker, and I have a sticker that literally just says Cush on it. So in the future, I probably will maybe switch to that gray fender if I think the color scheme is just a little bit too ugly, just because of the mismatching kind of yellow-orange here. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with how easy that install went. Now I won't have to cower in fear and shame and disgust when I flip my OneWheel over in front of another fellow rider, because I don't have to see my absolutely abused bumpers and my scuffed DIY skid plates, which, Honestly, worked very well for asphalt, but especially on the rear one here, since it has that cutout on off-roading, it can feel like sometimes you scrape against stuff, and it's definitely nice to have that float plate that has the full protection on the bottom there to keep the entire bottom plate of your one wheel secure. Also, it slides a little more, so you can do more tricks with it if you're into grinding and tricks and that kind of stuff. But I think that really covers it for the one wheel upgrade. Had to whip out all those new components that I've been saving. Didn't really want to, but I think it was definitely the right time. It was definitely necessary because those are very scuffed. I wouldn't really trust these to take any more impact because, especially with the float plates now, these will very nicely and evenly distribute any impact that may be taken to the bottom of the one wheel while off-roading or getting on and off, and that'll definitely help in the longevity of the one wheel, especially with the aluminum side rails, like the battery compartments. You don't want to have some sort of like sharp, focused impact there that could damage it. But yeah, that's pretty much the one wheel upgrade today. Thanks for watching, and in a future video, we'll check out how it off-roads.